This entire mix was an hour and 20 minutes. The longest mix I've ever did. Hour and 20.
Whoa.
Most
How
of the time
long?
when I do them, it's like 55 minutes. Last night I got the cooking. By the time I finished, it was 80 minutes long.
I was going to say, what was the inspiration? Like, what was there a theme to this mix, or you were just like, I'm going until I stop?
I was just practicing. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I like the two songs, I started with "Do I Do" Stevie Wonder into
Okay.
Michael Jackson "Rock with You." I'm not gonna hold you. That transition was piss poor.
Okay.
But I will say there are pockets when I like got into my bag. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something. Hold on, I'm gonna find something. Oh, I got it. I got one for us. I got it. Can you hear it? Come on.
There it is.
All right, so we got Jack Harlow, First Class.
All right.
So I'm vibing with it real quick. See, I was vibing with it right here. Hey, listen to this. Hold on. Actually, I might be off a little bit. No, I'm not. Trying to come the same day as Jack, rethink. You don't need Givenchy, you need Jesus. Why do y'all sleep on me? How do you reasons? Never downsize. I got visions of my mom saying, "Oh wait, this house." Oh wait, hold on. Now we got it.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
You got it.
Now this won't easy. I figured out a trick over Wellness Week, taking out stems, separating vocals from beats. Hold on. I was about to get into it, but it was the simplest yet hardest thing I learned.
Okay.
Because essentially, first off, I didn't know this feature was in Serato Pro. Okay. So I've been fucking around and I keep trying to do what I learned how to do, but it was mad difficult. Hold on. Right, this might be it right here. Come on, bro.
Okay, so what song did you mix it with?
This is Track Star by Mooski.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Nah, but like if you heard it, you'll know it.
Okay.
She a runner, she a track star.
Oh yeah. Okay, I just didn't know who.
See, I overlaid Jack's vocals over that beat. I thought it would sound bad. It didn't sound too bad. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay. You gonna have to jump on Twitch and give us.
I think what I would need to do is find a fucking. I have to find a like camera to like set it up.
I got you, like a GoPro.
There's like a few. I'll play a little bit later. There's like a few transitions. I was like, this shit kind of fire. Hold on.
What was your favorite transition? Like, what two songs did you just blend perfectly?
Bruh, it's this one I've been working on. All right, you're gonna appreciate this because you've been in your Gunna bag lately.
I have been in my Gunna bag lately.
So you remember? Did you listen to the song "Who You Foolin'" by Gunna?
What album was that? I listened to one.
That was Drip or Drown 2.
I have not listened to any Drip or Drown.
All right, so Drip or Drown 2, last song. It's "Who You Foolin'," and I transitioned "Twist and Turn" by Popcorn, Wizkid, Party Next Door, Drake into "Who You Foolin'." Let me see.
Okay.
There it is, right here. No, right. Yeah, no, hold on. I got it. Okay. This song by itself kind of fire. You ain't heard this?
I've never heard this. This is nice.
Nah, this song kind of. Listen, I can put you under a few songs.
Okay.
Yeah. But listen, I was listening to this and I was like, man, Who You Fooling would kind of be fire with this. So I was fucking around, bro. When I figured, listen to this.
Okay.
Come on. That don't sound bad.
No, okay.
That's the Who You Fooling beat. You'll know it. See, it don't sound bad.
No, it does not sound bad. Okay. You gonna quit your job?
No. But I'm thinking I put all these mixes, like I'm playing this off of SoundCloud. I feel like I can just like
you can
just make that SoundCloud link public. It's a private one. I might do another mix tonight See if I get a. I feel like there are like transitions that I'm comfortable with. I got to find multiple transitions that I feel comfortable with to
Hmm.
make like to get like a set that I'm like feeling really comfortable with. But I got like pockets of sets. I got like pockets that I feel comfortable with.
Okay.
My goal is to hopefully do my first gig sometime in like September.
Okay. Have you been reaching out to bars and stuff, or?
Well, it's hard because they want to like hear or see you do something. You ain't really done nothing. So I've been trying to tap in with local DJs here in the Portland area. Met a few, uh, but just trying to stay connected. First things first, though, I got to get comfortable with doing this shit. And shout out to the turntable. Oh, it's the other side.
Where's the turntable? Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. I
Yeah.
got you.
I wonder. I see. The thing is, I would get on Twitch and do this shit like most nights. I got to get the setup because okay. So like I would need this camera right where people can see me, but then I would
Right.
also probably need like a camera that's like right here overlooking my hands so people can see that.
Okay.
So I don't know. I might, you know, what I need to do. I might watch a few Twitch streams and
Yeah, I think the dual camera view and then one of your hands would be really cool.
yeah, I think so too. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think that's a dope.
who the fuck wants to just look at me and I'm like right here? It makes sense for me to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you gotta have your mic to scream into, like what's that DJ who popped off during the pandemic in Texas?
Tory
Is it
Lanez.
no? D Nice is who I was thinking of.
D Nice. Shout out D Nice. Shout out DJ D Nice.
Oh,
Yo, it's funny how okay, you want to know this is how I know that social media and all this shit is taking over the world. When I decided really wanted to get into DJ, and you remember around that time when I finally decided to put pedal to the metal, actually. So I eventually, as one would do, I started trying to ingest more DJ content because that was, what something I was interested in. I wanted to
mhm.
get more information, bruh. When Instagram figure out, or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook figure out like what you're trying to input into your algorithm, you
That's
don't
a
escape
wrap.
it. You don't escape it.
That's
I
a
have
wrap.
like my Instagram timeline is flooded with DJ material and DJ content, which is
It's
cool.
fun.
Like I get a lot of good ideas, but it's like, yo, y'all be listening. And then I think about to my my day-to-day job, and it's like, yeah, they're doing their job, marketing.
It's funny you mentioned that. For some reason, I've really been into dread retwist, carpet cleaning, and landscaping, and that's all it is.
Okay. Okay, but I gotta ask the obvious.
Yeah,
Carpet cleaning, landscaping makes sense. Run me back. Why the hell are you looking up dread retwist?
because it's amazing to see like someone whose dreads are like matted or haven't been retwisted in years, and just seeing someone take that and making it beautiful. I just find that really relaxing.
Okay. You notice in this hair, the hair's growing out.
I was going to say the hair is getting real close. You can probably braid it
Nah,
now.
I can't break this.
You can braid the top. You can't braid the sides just
I
yet. You
don't.
can definitely braid the
No
top.
way I can break the top, bro.
You can braid the top.
It's the camera angle and the lighting. I don't have enough to braid.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're probably a month away,
I think
if that.
I think I'm probably like 4 months away.
Nah, it doesn't take much to braid hair. It doesn't take a lot.
Shoot.
And I mean, if you don't, I understand you want like hang time, not like little prison braids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you. Then yeah, you are you're Christmas away from that.
Yeah. Like a full, like you're talking about like next Christmas?
No. This Christmas coming
Oh,
up.
okay. No, because
You want braids like Kawhi Leonard, I'm assuming, right?
yeah, or enough to where I can get like a neat design in them. My shit ain't gonna,
Oh yeah,
my shit ain't gonna be corny. I ain't gonna have no corny braids.
I mean, you start with the straight backs and then go from there.
Yeah, that's true. See, my thing is why I want to wait to I get some hang time with my braids is because I've had an afro before. So like I'm used to the afro shape. I got the picks. I know the pick and shit do be getting on my nerves, but they don't be bad. Just I'll be looking in the mirror and I just be shocked when I look in the mirror because I'm not used to seeing myself with this much hair. It's been like years. Like even when you and I worked together, I don't even think my hair ever got this long. Like my
I
hair,
don't think so either.
yeah, like
I was for the last 10, 12 years, low bald fade guy. You saw me.
I know.
It worked
I
too.
know.
It had a very successful track record. Very successful track record.
Believe it or not, I used to have an afro. I did in middle school. I had an afro. I had braids. You know what I used to do? I used to hide pencils in my afro and go to the teacher and act like I ain't had nothing to write with. Never worked.
This is I feel surprised like when you see Vince McMahon walk out to a match that he's scheduled in and he takes off his shirt and he's like randomly jacked. And you're just like, what the fuck? This is how surprised I am when I hear you have an afro. And you know these
Yeah.
matches that I'm talking about too, because you've seen some of these
Yeah.
Vince matches
Yeah.
when he takes off his shirt and you'd be like, yo, dog, why are you still in the gym at your age? And you're like,
You're 75.
no, bro, I'm talking like when was maybe like the last time I saw Vince and he was jacked? I'm talking like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Before he started aging.
Yeah, this is like I know.
Back when he had
it's
the
funny.
beef with Donald Trump and the Bobby Lashley Umaga John.
Yeah.
Vince was still kind of swole.
I watched a video. I forgot who the wrestlers were. I think one was Randy Orton, and they botched the finish. And Vince got so angry, he ran out. I think it was like during SummerSlam, and he blew both of his quads.
His quads. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know that God will always let you know if you're supposed to be somewhere or not. God
always.
And God told Vince, no, sir. No, sir. Whatever you thought you was about to do ain't worth it. I bet you by the time Vince fell asleep that night, he forgot why he was running down in that ring.
Yeah, I saw that story. It was hilarious because he couldn't get up. Like he was sitting in the ring, his back against the ropes. Like it was it Cena? It was Cena and someone who was This is a pause moment. With someone who was bigger, and it was like a Royal Rumble.
It was definitely
it
might have been Cena Batista.
Yes, it was Cena Batista, and they both fell over the top rope at the same time.
Over again.
Yeah, because I think Batista was supposed to win, and his momentum took both of them out of the ring.
Listen, Dave, I see how you ended up on Guardians of the Galaxy, brother. I see how you ended up there. Listen, oh my God. All right, before we get started, there's a funny thing that I was discussing earlier with a coworker of mine. It made me bust out laughing. I'm not gonna give him no names. I'm not gonna give him nothing. Skinamax.
Excuse me. You have to give a little bit of context.
So the conversation ended at Cinemax. It started at Tyler Perry got denied his request to buy BET. Let me take y'all on an audio adventure on how we started, where we started, and ended where we ended. So we're talking not TV stations, and then one of my coworkers is like, "Hey, y'all hear that? Fucking BET took their offer back from Tyler Perry?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, he was $1 billion short." And my man was like, "Damn, $1 billion short? That's rich people problems." And my other coworker who brought this topic up, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not know BET thought they were worth $3 billion." And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, "True, I agree with you, but maybe the extra billion came from BET Uncut." And he couldn't stop laughing because he knew exactly what I meant. Because if you know what BET Uncut was, whew, good times. So then my other coworker was like, I don't know. I looked because my one coworker, he's laughing at BET Uncut, but my other coworker is not. So I looked at the one coworker.
So the one that's laughing is black, and the one.
Funny enough, they were both white, and one white was laughing at the other one.
Okay.
So I looked at one dude and was like, he don't know what BET Uncut is, and he said, "No, I don't." And I looked at my other coworker who was laughing. I was like, he was on Skinamax. And my man was like, "Yo," my coworker was like, oddly enough, one night, when I was growing up, my dad was laying on the couch, and I was in my room sleep, and I heard some interesting noises that I had not heard before. So he said he went into the living room, and on the living room was Skinamax. I mean, obviously, he said it was Cinemax. He was like, my dad used to watch a lot of boxing, and he fell asleep on the couch watching boxing that night. And it was on Showtime, and or it was on Cinemax. It was on Cinemax.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he was like, but this was at like 3 a.m. And I was like, oh, you walked into prime Skinamax hours. And he was like, I said, did you wake your dad up? Did you tell him what's on the TV? He said, no, I found out what channel it was, remembered the channel, and walked back to my room. I couldn't stop laughing. He said to this day, he can't forget channel 43.
Do you want to hear a funny story? A similar thing happened to me.
Talk to me.
So my father, anyone who knows HBO After Dark, some of the things that were on HBO 1 in the morning, we moved into a new house, and he and my parents had bam.
No, Bam, you coming to the forefront with that one. Yeah. For those who are listening, Bam said his dad beat his meat and went immediately to sleep and left the evidence on the TV. Bam, you are wild. You are a wild, wild boy. Wild.
Yeah,
boy.
I hope it was
And
dark.
the name of this episode is You Don't Know Jack. Let me tell y'all something. This was not in the show notes. This is organic. This is mad or organic. Bam, by the way. Oh, Bam's not in our Superflex League. I was going to say, Bam, if you're in the Superflex League, I know you about to come in last.
No, I don't think he is.
He about to go. All right, my brother, we are back again. Welcome everyone to Speak On It, episode 113. When you see me, you know where we about to go. It's the bro with the small fro that's trying to grow. Los D Mix, my man. I'm here with the greatest of all time, one of the smoothest bald heads on the East Coast, my man.
Talk to me.
Danny Ocean. How we doing today, my brother?
We live in the dream. I just ordered new blades today. Keep this head nice and smooth for my wife. Not for anybody else, just for her.
Listen, you're giving me inspiration to eventually make that move and transition and evolve and become a husband one day.
Oh, the greatest thing about marriage for me,
tax advantage,
is when that too. It's when my wife, her hands are cold and it's hot outside, and she touches the top of my head. Instant relief. Nothing like it.
This is not the kinky hour. Freak ass boy.
No, the top of my
freak ass boy. It's freak ass boy. Wait a minute. Bam, are you seeing this? I asked my man how he doing. He getting talking about he getting turned on with the cold hand and the bald head.
I said instant relief. Yo, we had Arby's the other week. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay. You moving mad criminal. I don't know. What you moving mad criminal over there? Listen, yeah, Bam, this brother is wild. Danny, let the people know where the show is brought to them by.
All right, this show is brought to you by GoingFor2.com. Fantasy football season's here. Drafts are around the corner. It's the 22nd. We have a couple of drafts coming up, I believe. We're here. For your draft, in-season trades, waiver wires, whatever you need. GoingFor2.com. Very excited for tonight's episode.
Yo, I got 6 drafts.
I gotta write them down because we got the Superflex. We'll talk about that later. And then my homeboy's in the league. He just started one for charity. I got a draft for that too. Whole lot of mock drafts going on right now, and I think I'm missing the league somewhere.
I got our redraft league, our Superflex league, my $200 leagues.
Oh yeah, how much money do I owe you? It got to be $200.
Nah, you're only in. You're in 3 leagues.
Dynasty, you're redraft, and the soup.
2 are 80, 1 is 60.
Yeah, like $200,
brother. I got to put money in these pots too, and I got to keep up with everyone else's money. Shit, but I don't mind it though. We're gonna talk about it later. I think this I'm quickly realizing this Superflex league is about to be my favorite league. Quickly, great because I'm gonna start off by saying this, and we're gonna talk about it later. I got a great pick at pick 12. The more I thought about it,
but I told you.
But I am so intrigued by what 1 through 11 is going to do because there's some Superflex rookies. There's, my guy Jordan. Jordan Long. He's in. He's in there, and he's not really a big change guy. It took a lot of convincing to get him into this league, but now he's in the league. But I'm curious to see how he's going to draft at his position because he's a traditionalist. He wanted the regular 12-man league, and I was like, brother, that's your league. That I'm in your league. Like, why am I going to duplicate your league? We can train something up. But I'm just overall curious on what people do with their first round pick. It's going to dictate a lot about who I take with my first round pick.
I've ran so many mocks because that league it's so like you said, we have so many people who may not understand what's going on. Like my boy TJ got the first pick, and I'm technically, yo, do you know how important that first pick is? Like dog, you're gonna be like you're gonna be in like I have 8, so I'm 8 out of 12, and I've been doing some mocks. Like it's either gonna go great, like I just need one person to mess up. Like I just need one person to say, I'd rather have Justin Jefferson over Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert or something like that. Like that's all I need.
It's first off, before I say something, Bam, you're right. I was a Superflex hater months ago. I came around.
Yeah, tell them how you came around. Who been preaching the Superflex gospel for a year?
Danny Ocean has been preaching the Superflex gospel. I came around. I thought about it. And then I thought about the only way I do a Superflex is if it was a 12-person league. And since I didn't have a 12-person league started yet, I figured a Superflex league would be perfect. The reason why I usually hate 12-team leagues is because the roster disparity it's nasty. You get your depth is real nasty. But with a Superflex league, I think this helps everyone in the league. I'm curious because the mock drafts I did, it had two names consistently that I get at 12 and 13 overall. And let me tell you something. If these 2 names are there, whoo.
Is it McCaffrey and Derrick Henry?
No. Yo,
okay.
I can tell you, okay, the way I see this Superflex going, and then we can talk about actual NFL football first. The way I see the Superflex going, I see Mahomes, Allen, Jalen Hurts they should be the top 3 players off the board. After that, I don't think 4, 5, and 6 are going to go as QB crazy as you think they're going to be.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be like Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Jackson, Herbert.
No,
I think it's going to be a murderer's
I don't see that because I feel like you got to think there's some people who are going to look at. Some people are going to look at you. They're going to say, yo, Justin Jefferson's just been on the board. Like, I'm going to take him and I can run one QB and just run this like a regular flex. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be some people who I believe are going to move that way and they could be successful. Like, I'm curious to see roster construction. That's the word I was looking for. Roster construction. Who goes deep with the 2 QBs? Who stays true to maybe just building, taking best player available and then just stacking the odds like that? I can tell you at pick 12, if the person that I have been mock drafting the last 2 times is there, if both of them are still there at 12 overall and 13 overall, y'all are letting me start off dangerous. So that's all I'm saying.
I just know, and I think someone like between 8, 7, and 12, like someone, like you said, someone's going to be like Christian McCaffrey, and then on the back end come get like Saquon and just be like, screw it. We're just going to build like that.
Yeah, like it's going to be smart. Someone's going to have an RB room that makes absolutely no sense. And for most of the season, people are going to be like, how the fuck do we let him get these 3 running backs and run them consistently? It's going to be someone who has who's running a 2 QB team that's like, yo, dog, this is ridiculous. And there's going to be someone with like a crazy stack that you're just like, yo, how did you get Patrick Mahomes, Sky Moore, and Travis Kelce? This is ridiculous.
And when is that draft again?
That draft is September 6th. I have my first draft tomorrow, actually.
For September 3 days before my anniversary. That'll be fun.
Yeah. First draft tomorrow in a work league, 12-team work league.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of work, there are guys that get paid to go to work on professional football fields, and they usually play in the NFL. And then last week, we had the NFL preseason week 2. Number of storylines. I think we saw the Ravens lose their first game their first preseason game.
Thank God.
Forever. So we never have to hear about that streak again. We saw some guys, obviously we know about the injury report. Hope Terry McLaurin's doing well. Some other guys. We saw, some good good positional battles going on over the week. Baker Mayfield was named starting quarterback of the Buccaneers. And also during the last week, we got some continued RB drama out of Indianapolis. After coming back to the team, he then left for personal reasons, then came back. Now Jonathan Taylor has been granted permission to go seek a trade. Indy is looking for a first round pick or multiple picks that equal a first round pick. Danny, NFL preseason week 2. Where do you want to start here?
I'll start with the Ravens. Shout out to John Harbaugh for running Engage 8. You know, the all-out blitz on Madden in the fourth quarter of a preseason game. What a doofus. That's just like last week playing your second string quarterback in the fourth, sending all-out blitzes in the fourth against the Commanders. Give it up, man. Like that's corny. I'm glad they
got to
lost.
protect the streak.
I'm glad they lost. Shout out to the Commanders. Your season is complete. I'll start with my thoughts from preseason. I don't have a lot. Deuce Vaughn is really fun. Darren Sproles Jr. really like that. For me,
he's the running back for the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, came out of K-State. It's a really cool story. I think for me, the biggest thing that I've seen, I really hope Justin Fields can live up to the hype that y'all putting him under. Because like I'm seeing people saying like, who's on FS1 was like, yo, Justin Fields has a better arm than Jalen. Like he has better arm talent and he can make throws that no one else can. Like, yo.
Can I ask you a question? Do you find like any and all Eagles players slander and then make sure you attack that person?
Well, I'm on Eagles Twitter, so we see everything. I'm just saying, like Justin Fields is like being put in this echelon. And I just hope he lives up to it. Like we're
play.
I think he can play. Like with people are talking like he's gonna have a 4,000 passing yard, 1,000-yard rushing. Like I just hope he can live up to this hype. I really do. Like I think DJ Moore is gonna make the world of difference. He has weapons around him, but Justin Fields getting talking about like he Josh Allen, like he in the upper echelon.
They saying he's a few years and a few pieces away from being.
No, they saying that's right now.
Nah, definitely not right now. He's getting there though. I think if you watch the evolution of his game, through the back end of last year, you could see the development, you could see the maturity. Granted, you want that to translate over to wins, but
now he has a. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like the way we're talking about him, like he is on the precipice of being a top 5. And I think if by the end of the year he's top 8 to 10, that's a success.
Hey, top 15 is still good. You're still.
I mean, he's top 15 right now, but I'm saying like if this time next year we're talking about him in the same breath, I'm trying to think of like that 7 to 10, like the Dak Prescotts of the world and ascending. I think that's a win. But we're talking like he's on
that's like top 6 though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that range, 6 to 8. Like if we're talking about him in the same breath as Dak, Kyler Murray when healthy, like if he's in that group, I think that's a success. But like we're talking about him, like he is flirting with Mahomes and Burrow and Allen.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone who's putting him in that category.
I've heard a lot of people over the.
Who are these people?
I know there's some people on FS1. I see some analysts on Twitter, like just like, oh, Justin Fields. Like right now he is in the Jared Goff territory. Like let him work his
because
way.
Don't disrespect Jared Goff like that. Jared
Goff is like 10 to 12, right? Like Jared Goff is 10 to 12.
He might be top 7.
No, he's not top 7.
Yo, I'm gonna stake it loud. There might not be a lot of quarterbacks out here better than Jared Goff.
I'm not saying
Jared can play.
I'm not saying Jared Goff is bad.
They got the Mahomes, the Allens, the Herberts. The Rodgers,
Jackson, Rodgers, Kyler Murray when healthy. Like that's 7 right there.
He's not healthy though.
Okay, Herbert, like that's 7. Like you can come up with
Jared
7.
Goff won more games last year than Kyler Murray.
That's fair. Kyler Murray tore his ACL. I'm just saying, but like to me, Justin Fields is better than Kirk Cousins, and he's flirting with Jared Goff.
But I wouldn't say that he's better than Kirk Cousins. Yo, you gotta put a little bit more respect on some of these whiteys. I mean, some of these white quarterbacks.
Then who would you put? What tier? Like who are his peers right now in regards to quarterbacks for Justin Fields? Like, where would you put him in a tier? Like, who's around him?
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. See, now, I don't think so. I think Trevor Lawrence is closer to that echelon where they're trying to put Fields. Like, I think I would take
playoff appearance. They've done equally as much.
I would take Lawrence over Justin Fields right now.
Well, because you've seen the evolution of Trevor Lawrence's game in year 2. I'm saying that's why
I know Justin Fields. Yeah, Daniel Jones. There we go, Kyle. That's a great comp. Yes. I would take Fields over Jones, even though Jones like turned the turnovers down significantly. I just think Fields is a little bit more athletic. That's a great comp.
I don't know if I would take Justin Fields over Daniel Jones. I think they're about equal. So yeah, I would.
So this year he's Daniel Jones. Next year, if we're talking about him like a healthy Kyle in the same breath as a healthy Kyler, Dak, like I think that's a win. But we're talking like he's going to jump from Daniel Jones to Joe Burrow. Like, that's no. Like, I don't think that's realistic, and you're setting up to fail.
Do you think Jonathan Taylor ends up out of Indianapolis?
No. So here's conspiracy theories hat on. Jonathan Taylor knows there's a chance he won't be traded. Like if he gets, oh wow, Kyle's going on a Fields comp. We'll go back to that in a minute. I think Jonathan Taylor is playing the long game with this, right? I think he's going to sour this relationship as much as possible. So next year when he's a free agent, the Colts won't franchise tag him. Like if he gets traded right now, okay, cool. But I think for him, I need to muddy and make this relationship with Irsay so bad that when I'm a free agent next year, he does not franchise tag me. That is my conspiracy theory. Like he's playing the long game with this.
So you don't think Jonathan Taylor plays another down in Indy this year?
He does. I think he plays. He's just going to make things very uncomfortable for the front office. I think he's going to, because no one's going to give up a first-round pick for Jonathan Taylor. Like the price is too high.
And so my conspiracy is I think the Colts, I think Jim Irsay, I think Jonathan Taylor probably came back to them and was like, hey, I'm serious about this trade. Like, y'all, we can't keep doing this. And Jim Irsay was like, I'm not trading you, dog.
Yeah.
And he was like, why not? Like, it's probably Jim Irsay's probably telling the grass is not greener. It won't be what you think. And JT was probably like, show me. So I feel like Jim Irsay was like, all right, we'll trade you. We'll let you go. We'll let you go out here and seek a trade. But guess what? Here's the caveat. We want X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And knowing that's unattainable. So now we're going to put you in a position where you're going to come back.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to give us a first round pick for you. And if they do, fuck it. That's easy money.
I think JT, he's trying to sour this. And he should, right? Like if this is the only way running backs can find freedom is to sour the relationship with the front office before they can franchise tag you, then this is what you got to do. I think he's going to play in Indy this year. I don't have any doubts about it. Will his ankle injury linger a little bit longer? Maybe. But he's going to suit up. He's going to rush for 1,000 yards. He's going to have a great season. And I would not be, again.
Yeah. Yo, it definitely makes sense. The ankle injury.
Yeah.
Like not off season, like the rehab that's in Florida and in other places. Like, what if that's just him saying, yo, I'm not going to be practicing with the risk of getting injured and fucking up my bag. I'm going to try to stay healthy, stay healthy, stay in shape. And when the season comes around, I'll be ready.
Yeah. Like I think this is him souring his relationship with Jim Irsay to the point where Jim's like, screw it. Like Kyle said in the comments, he walks away, you get a 4th round comp pick. That's what you're going to get. That's going to be your offer anyway. Maybe a 3rd and a 4th for Jonathan Taylor. No one's giving you a 1st. And I think Jonathan Taylor's going to be a free agent next year.
But do you think, so what about if Jonathan Taylor comes back and Jim Irsay goes to the head coach and was like, don't you put that some bitch on the field at all?
I think that's cutting off your nose to spite your face. Anthony Richardson, we see the potential, but the best thing you can do for a rookie quarterback is give him a good running game, and you have one of the best running backs in the NFL. I think you lean on that. Anthony Richardson's development is more important than this squabble with Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
And Jim Irsay, Colts. Let y'all know now. If y'all think another Jonathan Taylor's just coming through those doors.
I mean, that's what everyone in the league thinks, though, right? Like that's why you get a running back in the in the first round, you got him for 5 years. Anywhere than that, you got him for 4 years. Franchise tag him twice. He's 27. Have a good one. Let's do this all over again.
Listen, what? I think this is the route the running backs got to start taking.
Yeah,
Start being on some fuck shit.
Yep, you got to look the owner in the face and say, "Fuck you, I'm out of here."
But it wouldn't surprise me if next week, probably this time next week, we're hearing JT's back.
Yep,
practicing with the team, prepping for week 1.
Yep, but
you know what the funny part is? The headline in the news media will be about JT's actions and whatnot, but I bet you there'll be a lot of people like in the locker room who speak about how great of a teammate he is. Yep. He's probably because I see the play now. I see the play, and I think that's what you got to do. Don't risk any injury. If they're gonna, like Kyle said, if they're gonna try to use every ounce of your rookie contract, all right, bet. Watch this. So my rookie contract will include only those 17 games plus the playoffs. Outside of that, screw it. I got to protect my investment.
And I wouldn't be shocked if he continues to take shots at Irsay, because he's going to get asked about this all the time. Like, how things are you, Irsay? Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he can just take shots at Irsay all season. You got to keep this hot.
To the point where they're just like, please stop. He'll probably just be like, he'll keep it professional. I mean, things haven't changed.
He's going to be professional, but it's going to be like that. Yeah. Nothing has changed between me and Mr. Irsay since he tweeted that thing about running backs this summer.
Mm-hmm. Listen, JT, this is what I'm going to say, though. Do not go to a news media station in front of kids who want to see you, who want to meet you, and call your owner a liar.
No, do that. James Harden giving y'all the playbook if you want out of your organization. He blazing the trail.
Listen, if James Harden wasn't one of the 10 most paid NBA players ever, I would say that $100,000 hurts. But he's made a lot of money in his lifetime, so I guess that $100,000 ain't nothing.
Yo, did you see his new Halloween sneaker, like the Harden 6 or 7s or whatever from Adidas?
I have not seen many Adidas shoes.
I haven't either. This just came across the timeline. They're pretty fire. Like fire? They make terrible basketball shoes, but this one, it's like it glows in the dark and it's like a skeleton's foot. It's pretty dope.
Ooh.
It's the coolest thing.
You think you can make a playoff run in them?
No.
He caught my jab. Kyle says it sounds like Jonathan Taylor is keeping this professional, and Taylor doesn't have any leverage of the many millions that Harden has made. Yeah, exactly.
But he can make it uncomfortable, and that's all he needs to do.
Oh yeah. Listen, JT, you really want to spice some things up? Just go out, just get some racist allegations going against Jim Irsay. That'll spice this bitch up fast.
Don't let him find that. Or walk in and watch Jim doing that. See Jim doing that book of sugar. We got him. We're gonna reset the market with this Jim.
Yeah, you see him on that sale, you just be like,
"Oh,
take the trade. Just take the trade. Whatever offer, take it.
Take it, or $20 million a year. Go ahead and send." And the crazy thing is, and then I'll be done. If there was ever a time to pay a running back, it's when you have a rookie quarterback on a 5-year contract. Like if Anthony Richards is on his rookie deal, like if there were ever a time.
Oh, so if you match him up, you start paying Jonathan Taylor. Then
you pay Jonathan Taylor now,
and then by the time that deal's over, that's when you got to pay him. Or another thing I don't get is why don't you do like Saquon did and give him the 1-year $20 million deal, or give him the 3-year or 3-year $20 million? You know what I'm saying? Like there are ways that you could make it work.
That Saquon deal was terrible for Saquon because he didn't get the no franchise tag clause. That's what he wanted. He can get it, so he can get franchise tag next year.
Saquon, follow JT's league.
Hey, you know what to do.
Saquon gonna walk in there and say fuck Eli and say it's up in this bitch, and it's up. Daniel, DJ, sorry, but they just don't love you like they love Eli, brother.
That's all he got to do.
Listen, speaking of the NFC, Danny, you know what time it is. This week, ladies and gentlemen, because Danny and I are going to be out for our start of the NFL season break in a few weeks, we are going to cover two divisions today, the NFC South and the AFC North.
Let's get it.
Again, people, when we do these divisional coverages, we go through each team's predicted record, the division predicted division winner, predicted biggest storylines within the division, the predicted division MVP, and anything else we might have to say. So starting with the NFC South, Danny, I'm going to pass it to you. Talk me through your predicted team record for each of these teams.
So I'm about to say something, and then I'm going to contradict myself later, but we'll get to the reason why. So in last place, 4-13, 1-5 in the division, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be a long season. It's going, dog. It's going to be a long season. It's
Yo, when your only analyzation or analyst comment is it's gonna be a long season, that lets you know where you think that roster is. Shout out Mike Evans.
but keep the faith, because May or Caleb Williams, you will be in the hunt, and that's your hope.
Yeah.
Panthers 5-12, 1-5 in the division. It's going to be rough, but you have hope. Like, you have your quarterback. The Falcons 8-9, 2-3 in the division. This can go either way. I have been high on the Falcons since they drafted Bijan, because I have the Saints at 9-8, 3-2 in the division, in the 4 seed. And I'm going to say it could very well flip flop between the Saints and the Falcons, depending on how that series goes between them. I am on the verge of saying the Falcons will make the playoffs, but Desmond Ridder has scared me through training camp. But it could happen. So that's for me right now.
That's funny. That is funny. So I'm not gonna lie, I have the same order.
Okay.
You have the Saints win the division, right?
I do.
Yeah. So I have the same order, different records. So finishing 16th in the NFC at a 4-13 record and 3-3 in the division. Okay. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa, listen, Tom's not walking through those doors. If I were you, I would really buy season tickets to the Lightning, because the Buccaneers won't give you anything to watch this year. At 6-11 and 2-4 in the division, I actually have the Carolina Panthers. I think we're going to see the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, really start to gain his momentum and confidence over the back half of the season. Wouldn't surprise me if this team starts off with maybe like 1 win, maybe like the first 2 weeks, and they go through a long losing streak, and then they start to pick it up towards the back end of the season. I could definitely see, Bryce Young start to figure some things out. But I think for the most part, it's going to be a shaky season for the Carolina Panthers. But this is a rebuild year for them, so it's not like they're on something. Finishing 7th in the NFC. Yes, I do have 2 teams from the NFC South making the playoffs. Finishing 7th in the NFC with a overall record of 9-8, but a divisional record of 3-3. Okay. I have the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, you can only be asked for so long, and eventually the NFC, the stars align for you to make the playoffs. Listen, last year was the New York Giants. I think the New York Giants are going to be right back in it. But this year, I think we're going to add the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, okay. I think that quiet as kept. I think the NFC South. Hold on. I think the NFC South, the NFC North, and the NFC East each put 2 teams in the playoffs, and I only have 1 team coming out of the NFC West. Okay. So back to the NFC South, finishing 3rd in the NFC with a overall record of 9-8, but a divisional record of 4-2. I have the New Orleans Saints. Funny enough, I just see the Saints being the best worst team in a bad division.
Oh, I got my math wrong. 3-3 for the Falcons, 4-2 for the Saints. I had them at 5 games, not 6 divisional games.
So, but yeah, so we gave them the same overall divisional record. Listen, I think the one thing about the NFC South is this order is going to be completely wrong by the time the end of the regular season comes around.
Yep.
For all I know, the fucking Carolina Panthers are going to come out and be a 10 or 11 win team. And I'm going to be very confused on what's going on in Carolina. Right?
That would be hilarious, actually.
What do you think is going to be the biggest storyline coming out of the NFC South?
The biggest storyline for me, if Desmond Ridder could be top 20, this offense could be special. You have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan. We can do something here. Desmond, I don't need you to be Mahomes, but you can't be Zach Wilson last year. You got to find a medium.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. You really have a lot of faith in. I see the Carolina. I mean, I see the Falcons winning a lot of games they shouldn't win. That's what I see. But I think the biggest storyline of this season is the fact that the Saints are going to be the clear best team in the division, but they're going to have a problem winning games. I think the Falcons are going to be one of not the best looking teams in the division, but they're going to win games they shouldn't. And I think the biggest storyline ultimately comes down to how very, very competitive the NFC South is for most of the year between the Saints and the Falcons, because neither team can get right. Like this is going to be the can't get right division, and I feel like that's going to be the biggest storyline.
Get right division.
Oh yeah, you always got one. You always got one. Who was the can't get right division last year? NFC South. AFC South.
AFC South.
Yeah, that's usually the NFC North. Well, no, because the Vikings had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The AFC South last year, it's like, yo, one of y'all wants to win the division, even if you don't want to win the division. Like one of y'all wants to go to the playoffs, no matter how badly you're trying to deny it. That's the can't get right division. And the can't get right team of the year last year, was it the Chargers?
Yeah, it's always the Chargers.
Yeah, it is. They take the cake. What about the breakout player for the NFC South? Who do you have? Bijan?
No, it is since Michael Thomas is back. I think Chris Olave's life is going to be a lot easier, and he was good last year. He will be great this year.
I think so. Mine, random. Rachaad White, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think you're going to be talking about a Buccaneers team that is not going to have a lot on offense outside of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and so I think Rachaad White being now the feature running back, now they let go of Kung Fu Lenny. We'll see. Yo, can we take a step back? What the fuck happens if the Bucs turn out to be a randomly good team?
Then what I'm about to say next for division MVP will make a lot of sense.
If you say Baker Mayfield,
hell no, dog. Okay. Never.
All right, go ahead.
Mike Evans. Mike Evans is going to get his 10th consecutive 1,000-yard season.
I think so too. If he can do it with Baker, he can do it with anyone.
I mean, who hasn't he done it with? He did it with Tom. He did it with Jameis. Who was his quarterback when he first came in the league?
Okay, but that
was it Josh Freeman?
It might have been. Listen, that Jameis thing, yo, the Jameis wasn't terrible. He just kept turning the ball over.
Yeah. And Jameis deserves to be a starter in this league. You can't tell me Baker is better than Jameis. I don't believe that for a minute.
No, he's not. Kyle said if the Bucs turn out to be good, then Danny might be upset if Caleb ends up in the NFC East. Where he's going to end up? Because Washington's going to be a half decent team next year. Y'all, quiet as kept. Everyone wants to keep clowning the NFC East. Yeah, it's a division full of clowns, but Washington's going to be a better. Washington's going to be a better.
The NFC East is a division full of clowns.
Oh yeah, division full of clowns.
Excuse me, the best division in football. That's not the AFC North.
It's a division full of clowns. Just the two clowns at the top happen to be King Clown A and King Clown B.
Sounds some real hateration. That's crazy. Can't believe
worst four fan bases in the National Football League that all happen to be in the same division. Yeah.
Most storied fan bases in all of football in
If
one
you're
division.
watching this, I want you to name me 4 worst fan bases in the NFL outside of the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Giants. You,
The 49ers,
I mean, yeah, they're bad.
Jets fans,
They round out the top 5. Jets fans are
Raider fans.
7.
I think Raider fans are up there.
After the Raiders,
They,
it's a little tough thinking about terrible fans.
let's see. I know I'm missing someone.
Can't really be any. It can't. Hard for me to think folks got beef with fans in the NFC North. Maybe fans of the Packers, but
Vikings fans are extremely annoying.
they're miserable. They're miserable most of the time. Their team consistently lets them down. They're in misery. You can't even say that. They don't bother nobody. They be in their own little circle of misery. The Bears are stuck in the year 85 thinking that team's going to come back, and the Lions don't know what the hell to do because they've never been good. So the fan bases, I mean, again, I say if there's a fan base in the NFC North people may have a problem with is Packer fans, because some Packer fans are just like stupidly entitled, but I don't really consider them fans. I think of them as QB chasers.
Saints fans are really annoying. Let's see.
Who that? I'll put them in the top 10. You're only at 8 now.
Oh, you said are there 4 worst fan bases?
Oh no, y'all are still top 4.
We're all in that. We're in the top 10, but it's not.
No,
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, y'all are
it's
2.
like 1, 2, 5, 7.
No, y'all are 2. Cowboys are 1.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I'll own that. 1, 2.
Washington
Then I would
3.
probably. I would say Cowboys.
You haven't met
Eagles,
of Washington. Those fans are terrible.
I live with them. I know them.
I remember the day dog. Why are you talking to me about Joe Theismann? The fuck are you talking about?
They're the Bears of the NFC East.
Yeah, like stuck.
They're like, oh, we broke the color barrier with the racist name. That always makes me laugh. The first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl played for a team with a racist name. It's just funny. Like, you can't make this up.
You can't make it up at all. My brother, are you ready to switch over to the AFC North?
Let's do it.
So, people, in the AFC North, we have the Baltimore Ravens, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, we have the Cleveland Browns, and we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to run through the same questions: predicted team record, division winner, storyline, breakout player, division MVP, anything else we might have on our mind. So, Danny, I'm going to go first on this one.
Go for it.
Finishing 13th in the AFC with a divisional record of 2-4 and an overall record of 8-9. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's how close it's going to be. An 8-9 team finishing 13th overall in the division. 13 overall in the conference. Finishing 9th in the AFC with an overall record of 9-8, but a divisional record of 2-4. I have the Cleveland Browns. I think the Browns are going to be a really good team that cannot get right. They are my early favorite for can't get right team of the year.
Okay. They do got the nasty man.
Listen, I do feel like the nasty man is going to come back and have a decent season, but I think they're going to lose games that they probably should have won. Like, it won't surprise me if the Browns have 2 to 3 losses when they were up by like 15 or more points.
Okay.
Finishing 9-8 overall with a 4-2 divisional record and 5th overall in the AFC, I have the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Listen, I think the Bengals are going to be a really good team. I think they're going to have a really good offense. I just think that, listen, in the NFL, some years you win games you should lose, and some games you lose games you should win. And I think this might be one of the years for the Cincinnati Bengals. I still think they're going to be. Okay. I still think when it comes playoff time, they're going to be looked at as one of the favorites to come out the AFC. I just feel like their road to get there is going to be a little challenging. Obviously, that means that I have the Baltimore Ravens winning the division, finishing 3rd overall in the AFC with a. Would that be 11-6?
Yes.
Finishing 11-6 overall, 4-2 in the division. I have the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, I have the Ravens The Ravens are my Super Bowl favorite. They are my Super Bowl pick. My Super Bowl this year is Dallas versus Baltimore. Um, I think Baltimore is going to end. I think Baltimore is one of the best teams in the NFL. I think they're going to, with this new offense under the dynamicism of Lamar Jackson, I think this team is going to be one hell of a team. And I'm not saying this because I have Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews on my dynasty team. I feel very confident that the Ravens are going to be a really good team. Think about it. They've been a really good team. They've been a pretty good team for most of Lamar's tenure there, and they've been a run first team. Now imagine they bring in an offensive coordinator that wants to try to push the ball, some wants to try to be more aggressive. With that quarterback behind center, who is now the highest paid player in the league. I mean, the highest paid quarterback ever.
Okay,
I like it.
I'm not mad at it.
I like it.
I'm not. Um, I think the AFC North is going to be either the most competitive division or the second most competitive, depending on how the Commanders look. So this is going to be pretty tight. So at 9-8, 3-3 in the division. The 10th seed, the Cleveland Browns. I think the nasty man needs another year. At 11-6, but a 2-4 division record. The 7th seed, just sneaking in. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to talk about my storyline later on my thoughts on the Steelers. These next two teams, the Ravens and Bengals, I had them with the same record, 12-5. It just depends on who has the better division record. Right now, I say the Bengals have a better divisional record, so I have the Ravens at 12-5, 4-2 in the division, in the 5 seed, and I have the Bengals 12-5, 5-1 in the division, and they're the 2 seed. That can very well flip. It's a coin flip. I picked the Bengals because they've been more consistent over the past couple of years, and Lamar hasn't finished the season. And like he always seems to get dinged up. I need to see Lamar finish a season. But if he does, I would not be shocked at all if that's flipped. But I need to see it.
Listen, y'all keep doubting number 8.
I don't doubt him. I
I'm
just need him
LJ8
on the
to the
field.
die.
I'm not doubting him. I just need to see him healthy. If he's healthy, then yes, they could be the 2 seed.
Listen, the Ravens said they the best bird team in the NFL, and fuck out of here with the Eagles and that bullshit.
That's crazy. That's wild. So good they played their second string quarterback in the 4th quarter of a preseason game. But go on, tell me about your
honestly,
biggest
of all the
storylines.
bird teams, the Ravens are.
I would say they've had the most recent success, like as a franchise.
I would argue you and say they probably had the most success out of all bird teams
ever
in the NFL. Falcons, Seahawks, Eagles, Ravens.
I will put the. I was gonna say I would put the Seahawks success over, but they only have 1 Lombardi. The Raiders have 2, right? Or do they have 3?
They have 2.
Flacco 1-1, Dilfer 1-1, the Seahawks 1-1, the Eagles have 1.
And they might be 2-0 in Super Bowls too.
They might be. Falcons don't have any. Cardinals don't have any. Yeah, you could say that. If we're just judging,
they're the youngest. They're the youngest of the birds, but they're the most successful. So you know what that means.
I mean,
shout out to the young birds.
If we're saying Lombardis, yes. If we're talking about like playoff success and playoff runs, I'd put the Eagles up against that since 2000.
Oh yeah.
The Eagles have been
days of Donovan McNabb letting y'all down.
I mean, that's what we're doing with the Ravens. I mean, the Eagles have been to 6. I think it's 6 or 7 NFC Championship games. How many?
Finally doing it for you, and then Jalen Hurts letting y'all down. I mean, yeah. Sheesh. Just
listen. I would say.
Listen, if y'all didn't have that Super Bowl win in 2017, y'all and the Vikings would be like the Spider-Man meme, just pointing at each other. Who can be more miserable as a fan base?
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, no.
But they do.
What do you think is going to be the biggest storyline in the AFC North?
So this goes back to my Steelers take. George Pickens. I see you. I recognize you can be him.
Talk to me.
I think you can be him. Yep. And if you are him, the Steelers will make the playoffs. TJ Watt is back. Mike Tomlin is a grade A coach. I want to see Tomlin coach a healthy team. And for me, it's George Pickens. And then the other one I had was, this is T. Higgins' last ride. What can the Bengals do about it?
My biggest storyline, plain and simple. The Ravens, well, the Bengals, and maybe Kyle researched this. I think the Bengals will be the first team in NFL history to have 3 wide receivers all go for over 1,300 receiving yards.
Whoa. Where's that at in FanDuel? What sports book has that?
D-Mix Sportsbook.
DMX Sportsbook. What are the odds? What if I give you $20 that does not happen? What are my odds of winning money?
You should just consider your bank account $20 cheaper.
Jeez, man.
Yo, let me tell you a funny story. I don't know if you know about the app Be Real.
Yes.
So, okay, I'm gonna be real. And one of my homies from college, he takes a Be Real. Him and his shorty is in Vegas. So you know about my Vegas trip earlier in the year. So as soon as I see it, I comment immediately. Tap, tap, tap. Open this fucking phone. Tap, 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 tap. I tap A. Go to the casino and put 20 down on Black 17. He comments immediately. Tap, 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 tap. Comments back immediately. I got you, bro. We good. We up. It's up and stuck. If I win any, I'm giving you 5%. I promise you. Let's get it.
How much you
up.
lose?
So I'm waiting all day. I'm thinking, how he gonna tell me? If he wins some money, he just gonna text me, he gonna call me, FaceTime me. Man, you get to 1:30 a.m. Pacific time. You know I stay in.
Whoa.
You know I stay in Portland. My man comment back under his own post 7 hours later. At Los D-Mix. Yo, I'm never listening to you again going. I sent back the LMAO. My bad, big dog. My bad, OG. Hey, it didn't work for him. Didn't work for me either. Carson, my
come
bad, brother.
on. Come on.
Hey,
man.
you only lost $20. I went in that bitch, put 300 on Black 17 and was sick. Dropped to my knee.
Whoo. Whoo, my
I
chest.
know.
Ooh, that's not a yawn. That's
I know.
anxiety.
Is George Pickens your breakout player then for the AFC North?
That would make sense, but I had Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. Shout out to Zay Flowers who caught a touchdown pass in the NFL preseason game. I would love for Zay Flowers to go off because Rojo, if you're out there, I want to trade for Zay Flowers, but I'm afraid of your asking price. But I also have Mark Andrews, and I feel like I should ride Mark Andrews, but I want a Ravens like wide receiver.
You putting a lot of stock in Ravens this year.
They're my pick to win the Super Bowl.
I know. I'm saying you're putting a lot of stock in the Ravens.
You know where I'm going with my division MVP. Do I really got to say it?
No, it's Lamar.
LJ8, big trust. Big trust.
For me, it's Joe Shiesty. I know what Joe Burrow gonna look like in the playoffs. He just got to get there.
Y'all ain't seen Lamar in the playoffs in an offense that's not run based. That boy dangerous.
I'm not saying
Some
he's
days
not.
I go back to Lamar's Heisman season, dog.
Will he be on the field?
Yes.
Will he be on the field when it comes to playoffs?
Yes, big trust. Why you hating?
I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
Is Jalen gonna be there? Is he gonna be there giving up another 10-point lead in the game that matters the most?
Jalen gonna beat it. Don't worry about Jalen. We good over here.
And Lamar gonna be there too. He said he gonna meet y'all there.
Hey,
big trust.
Well, I'll gladly play the Ravens.
Kyle said that I won't get Zay Flowers off of Keeler. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Son of a bitch. Anything else for the AFC North? I think me and you can both agree that the AFC North and the NFC South, in similar but different ways, will both be competitive. Yes. I think for opposite reasons.
Correct. Different sides of the spectrum.
Listen, what is the world going to do that first NFC South game in prime time when they put the?
Oh no, there will be no NFC South game in prime. Is there NFC South prime time game?
Hell. They putting a Saints Falcons game in prime time.
Hell no.
They got to.
No. A Thursday night game, maybe.
Listen, if they put Georgia and LSU in prime time, they're gonna put Falcons and Saints in prime time too. It's a classic.
The Falcons do not Yeah, Falcons don't have a primetime game at all this year.
Crazy.
Good.
Kyle, listen. I don't know if Rashad Bateman can sell me because I don't really think he's healthy. Nor do I just something about Rashad Bateman. I just don't think the coaching staff is fully bought in on him. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's me. Danny,
Yep.
since we're here talking about fantasy, though, you want to talk about our newest fantasy league.
Let's do it.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, a week ago when we left you all, me and Danny had some thoughts on potentially starting a 12-team Super League. And over the course of about a week, it's really literally been a week.
Yep.
In the course of a week, we have filled up a 12-team PPR Superflex League, drafting on September 6th. Yes, one day before the NFL season. Danny has pick 8. He spoke about it earlier at the top of the show about his about his potential draft strategy. I'm picking at pick 12. Danny, we don't have to go too much into that particular draft, but what I will ask you is this: do you at pick 8, do you see yourself being in a position to run 2 quarterbacks, or do you think this will be? Do you think your roster might fit a little bit more organic to a natural flex?
I have been drafting in scenarios where both happen, and more times than not, the scenario that happens is the organic BPA or more strategizing in regards to building a team instead of someone who can grab Mahomes or Hurts with the first pick in the first round. So I'm doing a little more homework on quarterbacks that people may not care about that I could snag in later rounds. But we'll see, right? Like all it takes, like at 8, all it takes is 1 or 2 people to say, "Nah, I want Cooper Kupp, I want Jetta, I want Jamar, I want
Which you can't blame them.
McCaffrey," and I can't blame them. But like you have the top tier Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, and then it's that second tier Lamar, Joe.
See, but I think like even in a regular redraft league, though, you would anticipate that if you didn't get the Mahomes, the Allen, the Burrows, you immediately know about the second tier of quarterbacks. I think if you're smart, you look at some of these second tier quarterbacks and just ask yourself, which of these offenses took a step forward in the offseason, it sounded like, to where like you can invest in their improvement of an offense. It's easy to bank on the Hurts, Allens, Mahomes because you know what they're going to look like. Sometimes you got to take a risk and invest in one of these young quarterbacks, either taking a leap or someone like a Kirk Cousins just going off and having like a monster season that no one sees coming, right?
Yeah, so like it's either like you do that strategy, right? Like I'm grabbing a quarterback, or you grab a third tier quarterback, but you like I said, you got McCaffrey and Saquon. You got, Jamar fell to you, and then you turn around and draft Cooper Kupp or some combination. Like you just built such an elite team around that second or third tier quarterback. It really doesn't matter. I need you to throw a touchdown a week, 200 yards, and we'll be good.
I will tell you, not in this league, but in my other like typical redraft leagues where it's, one quarterback format, one guy that I keep eyeing as my backup, and I yo, relax. I am Hendricks. Stop.
Teacher's trying to tell you who you need to draft.
See? Goofy ass. One quarterback I've been looking at that I'm like very confident that I'm going to be able to get as a backup quarterback in a few leagues, Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you get a Jared Goff.
Hendricks
just saying he won Jared Goff too. Like if I have Jared Goff in my quarterback, but I have like again McCaffrey, Saquon, and then somehow AJ Brown or CD Lamb falls to me, like I would be okay with that.
And I got sold on Jared Goff because towards the end of last season, if you remember, towards the end of last season when Lamar got hurt and had to run Jared Goff was a really serviceable wide receiver. I mean, not wide receiver, serviceable quarterback.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it, I was like, yo, this guy's been my backup for like most of the year, and he's been in he's been mad decent. I gotta like, why don't I consider him more? It's those type of guys. It's the you
Cal
saw that.
said, "Hell no, no Jared Goff, not in one QB."
Listen, man, y'all sleep. Jared Goff will randomly throw. I bet you right now, Jared Goff throw for like 4,200 yards next year.
I mean, Amon Ra not gonna throw it to himself.
And if you think about the team characteristics, this is a team. They're not gonna win blowout games. So all their games are going to be stupid close, where he's gonna have to bring them back or keep them ahead. You know
I
what
don't
I'm
know
saying? Dynasty, how you feeling? Dynasty, how you feel about your Dynasty League pick?
feeling okay. Roster.
What pick number do you have?
And well, we did our rookie draft back in
No, I'm talking about redraft. I'm sorry.
redraft. I forgot what pick I have in your redraft league. I think it's like 8 again. Like it's either middle of the pack or close to the end. Let me check. Thank you for what pick do you have? I forgot all about.
I have pick 10.
Yeah,
I've got listen, it's actually strange. So did you know I'm in 7 leagues? One of them is a dynasty, so we've already done our draft. The draft picks I've gotten across my leagues in a 10 team in my 10 team leagues, I got pick 4. I got 4 in a keeper league, 5 in a redraft league, 10 in my own redraft league. Then in our super flex league, I got pick 12. In my boys 12 team league, I got pick 12. And then for my work 12 team league, I got pick 8. The fuck
so
is that?
I got pick 7.
Oh yeah, boy, they got that. The fantasy guys got you at a place. They're letting you know where you're drafting at. Me and you, they're letting us know.
Middle to end or late to end.
I guess I'm cool with this being the year because a couple years ago I had like 2 leagues where I had the number 1 pick and I took Christian McCaffrey in both of those leagues.
Oof.
And that was the last time I took Christian McCaffrey.
Oof.
That I was yo, I try not to make fantasy personal because it don't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this out of our control, but I can tell you that season I was very upset with Christian McCaffrey.
I would be too.
I was like, "Hey, yo, dog, really? Really?"
He was like, "Yeah, really."
Then got traded. Then I traded the next year. It be like it dead ass be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that.
This week also begins. I don't know if it's week 0 in college football.
Yeah, week 0 in college football.
So this brings up a good question I have for you. Do you have any conference champion predictions this year across the last look at what the Power 5 is as we move into our quick hitter section? As you start thinking about college football, what are some conference champions that you're predicting this year?
Yeah, so I said when you typed the notes and sent it to me, I actually sat down today and just went through. So the ACC, I know the 2 big dogs this year are going to be supposed to be Clemson, Florida State. Clemson easier. Florida State comes out the gate playing LSU, and then they got to play UF at the end of the year as their rivalry game. So I'm taking Clemson out of the ACC. Big Ten, I'm taking Ohio State. Michigan is doing a self-imposed suspension on Harbaugh for some recruiting violations. So I think he's gone for 3 games. Those are 3 easy games for me. It's how long does it take Michigan to get into a rhythm with Harbaugh calling plays compared to whoever's doing in running the sideline the first 3 games. So I'm going to take Ohio State, and they have Marvin Harrison Jr., the best wide receiver in college football. That has to count for something. The Big 12, now that competition is probably going to be Texas one last time. The Pac-12, USC, most of their tough games are at home this year. They have to go on the road to Oregon, and then they have to go on the road to Notre Dame. But Utah, UCLA, Washington, most of their hard games are at home this year. I think that counts for something. And then the SEC, my spirit wants to pick Alabama, but the East is a lot weaker, so I'm going to go UGA again. Bama has to play LSU. Well, this year it's in Bama. Last year it was in Tuscaloosa. This year it's in Bama. Last year they were at LSU. I just think UGA has just a little bit of an easier schedule in regards to their division opponents compared to Bama. So I have UGA repeating in the SEC. And they have Brock Bowers, the best tight end in college football.
Man, ain't nobody worried about no Brock Bowers.
Okay.
Listen, SEC, come on, bro. You know who I'm rocking with. Roll Tide. Nick. Show these. Nick, go ahead.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'm
Coach
just
them
saying
boys up, let
UGA's
them know.
schedule's easier.
Let them coach them boys up, Nick. Go ahead, take them back to the national championship. Handle your business. Alabama, SEC, Big Ten. Come on, bro. Michigan. I didn't believe in y'all last year. It ain't happening this year either. OHIO. And I don't think Michigan. Listen, Ohio State versus Wisconsin and the Big Ten championship game. It's going to be Luke Fickle. Fickle. I think Luke Fickle versus his old team in Ohio State.
Oh yeah, because he went from Cincinnati. You're correct.
I think he's going to take him to the precipice, but I think Ohio State's going to win, and Wisconsin's going to be a really good team this year. Watch. Big 12. Listen, Brent Venables, I think in year 2 is going to have Oklahoma really, really coached up. I think the conference championship game is actually going to be the two teams leaving for the SEC in Oklahoma and Texas. I'm going to give the nod to Oklahoma on this one. Who's going to win the Big 14? Kyle, that's hilarious. Pac-12. Listen, I'm going to stick with the homer pick. I'm going to go Oregon.
Okay.
Just because that's the homer pick. Obviously, living out here in Eugene's backyard in Portland. Which one am I forgetting? ACC.
Don't even think about it.
I'm not going to waste anyone's time saying I think Virginia Tech is going to win the ACC. I don't.
Okay.
Clemson, listen, until someone takes me, until I see someone take Clemson off their high horse, that's still the team to beat for me. Listen, when it comes to Clemson and Bama, I know some of y'all out here think, Clemson and Bama, they're going to be, the teams are going to get better. Listen, yeah, a broken clock's right twice a day. And the last 2 times it just so happened to be right when UGA's time was here. But let me let y'all know, Nick is shutting this shit down.
Okay.
Nick is shutting this. Y'all must have forgot who really run this college football shit. Who birthed a lot of y'all's programs out here. Same brother that give all your favorite NFL coordinators jobs when they ask get fired. He still runs shit and he's still here.
Still run it.
And he heard that shit you said, David Pollack. He wished you was still working at ESPN so you could be there and watch this downfall, respectfully speaking. But
okay.
Nick, handle your business. Alabama versus Clemson national championship game.
Okay, I could see that. I didn't get to a national championship. If looking at this sheet, I really want to pick USC Georgia, but that would be homicide. So I'm going to take Ohio State Georgia.
You know what? Listen, we'll talk about it in the years to come, but honestly, the college football playoff ruined conferences.
You think so?
No, I know so. Want to know how I know? Because once conferences started realizing that certain conferences receive a better chance of receiving college football playoff bids, matter how, because of just based off of competition, it ruined conferences. The fuck I need to be in the Pac-12 for? Y'all don't get chose for nothing.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Well, now with the college,
the Big Ten, where you could lose a game and still make a playoff.
Well, now with the expansion, each Power 5 champion is in. So I don't know why you would leave.
No, that's what they want you to think, dog.
No, that's like every conference champion gets a bid. That's why they expanded it, because people in the Pac-12 weren't getting picked. Why would you leave the Pac-12 now? Now it's a cakewalk. Now
because
year.
Let me tell you why. Why even waste time when why waste time bringing a Pac-12 team to the playoff when we know what's going to happen? Y'all don't recruit the same. Y'all don't get the same coverage. Y'all don't get the same players. You know what we need? We need to go to the conference where they're recruiting the best players and get the best players who want to come here, because they're still going to get the TV time that they need to get drafted. So fuck this. What's your team name? Fuck your couch. That's what they're saying. That's what these teams are saying in the conferences. Fuck your couch. I'm out this bitch.
All I'm saying is, if I'm Utah or if I'm Oregon and I see my biggest competitor USC leave, why would I leave? Like I could run the Pac-12 for the foreseeable future.
And where does that get you, to the Rose Bowl every year?
No, it'll get me if I win I'm in the college football playoff. My recruiting strategy is you can come compete for a national championship every single year.
But it's not competing if you're not competitive. And that's what we've seen in these college football playoffs.
Hey man, I just need to get a seat at the table. Anything can happen.
No, but that's the problem. They're shortening the table. They're cutting the invite short.
Which is insane.
Some of you brokies out here, they're saying your conference don't even get an invite. Sit at the kids' table for Halloween for Thanksgiving this year, my G. You get the hey yo Pac-12. Go sit at the table with the MCAT, the MCAT and the SAT. That's your conference over there. That's
man.
Where you eat your turkey. You don't get no turkey. You eat the ham with the cold gravy. That's what they tell them the conference.
When Oregon State wins the Pac-12 in 2 years and they get an invite to the college football playoff, that could have been Oregon.
What happens when Oregon State wins the Pac-12 in a few years and the college football playoff committee looks at the
no. With the expansion, every champion gets in. That's part of it. Every conference champion gets in, right? Like that was the whole point.
No,
that's Kyle. Can you look that up?
I think it's the 8 best teams, and this gives them more incentive to put more Big Ten and more SEC schools in the playoff. Yo, the Pac-12 don't even have an argument that they would get a team into the college football playoff because they haven't been able to.
Let's see. Let's look this up.
They barely are able to.
I could have swore every conference champion gets in, no matter what, and that was the point.
Silly to me.
Yeah, the field will compromise the selection committee's 6 highest ranked conference champions and then its 6 highest ranked teams. So if thank you, Bam. The champion always gets in. So if I see USC leave the Pac-12 and I'm Oregon, why am I leaving? My biggest competition wants to go play Ohio State and Michigan. Get out of here.
Because this conference isn't going nowhere. Y'all not making no money. Y'all broke. Y'all got me sitting at the broke. Now y'all got me sitting at the broke. Like my brand is Southern Cal. I done had all these Hall of Fame. I had Reggie Bush here, dog. Y'all got me sitting at the Thanksgiving table with the SWAC in them. Come on. What the fuck is we talking about?
Hey, man, all I know is
Southern Cal should not be at the same Thanksgiving table as Middle Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Oregon State, your recruiting strategy is we can compete for a national championship every year.
Who's national championship?
You just need to get there.
No. What's the point of getting there if you losing 42-10?
I can get there. You can help us get over the hump. Same way. I mean, that's all I'm saying. If all my comp is leaving, you make the front of your schedule difficult. You play your Notre Dames, you play your Clemsons, and then I go win the Pac-12 championship game. I could have lost 4 games the whole season. Guess what? I'm getting in. And if you make the college football playoff, do you know what that means?
I think
more money.
I think they'll put conference champions in, but they're not getting good draws. Listen, and I'm talking about more so the Pac-12. The Big 12 they've shown to give a little more respect to. Pac-12, they don't respect you. They look at you like you some hoes.
It doesn't matter. The champion still gets in. I don't care who you respect.
Okay,
I still get in.
So then what happens when the Pac-12 is consistently always getting like the 6th seed or the 5th seed or the 4th seed because no one respects them? Now they're getting the best non-conference champion. Now that was just an extra football game that you get to play, but you're going to lose anyway.
More money for the university. That's what it's all about, though, right?
I've seen enough Bamas versus Washingtons. I've seen the LSUs versus the Oklahoma. I've seen enough of these matchups where this game's not going to be close, and this is going to get ugly fast.
I mean, but you get the exposure, you get the money. That's what it's all about anyway, though, right? As someone who's working athletics, if you make the NCAA championship, the NCAA cuts you a piece of the pie. Like, you get an extra check. Huh?
I mean, yeah, in basketball,
in every sport, sport,
every sport, but making it there is a little bit more honorable in basketball and football. I mean, Yo, dog.
Hey,
I mean,
man.
come on. There's about 10 teams that all the best players go to. The rest of y'all got to develop. Most of y'all can't develop. So now you're just hoping and praying with a dream, a dollar, and a football that you have the magical one season that you need to help get the recruits for a good season 4 years down the road. A lot of y'all aren't fooling me. Nick.
Here's my retort to that.
A lot of y'all
Tulane,
can't coach. You're not fooling me. You're just praying with a hope and a dream for a good season. Nick, come clean these dudes up, yo. I'm tired of y'all playing with Nick.
Tulane just beat USC, and the transfer portal changes the entire landscape of college football. You have a lot of teams, especially in Texas, that got a lot of money that they can now give out legally. So if SMU says, "Hey, yo, come over here, we'll give you $1 million," Pony Express is back, baby.
Tulane beating USC don't move me because most of USC checked out when they realized they weren't making the college football playoff.
That is on Lincoln Riley.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of Kyle says, in all honesty, none of this makes him want to watch college football. Kyle, let me tell you something. If you were to watch college football, here's what I'd say. Watch the SEC, watch the Big Ten, and then watch whatever game Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler are calling. And whatever game Gus Johnson's calling on FS1.
Well, Gus Johnson always gets the Big 12 game at noon. My favorite game of the day. Because that's usually the Oklahoma game more times than not.
Yeah. Oklahoma or Texas.
Yeah, Oklahoma or Texas.
Yeah. The NBA season, the NBA schedule kind of leaked. Any matchups you were intrigued about?
If Ja Morant won't acting like a fool, we could have got Lakers and Grizzlies on Christmas. Granted, we got Lakers Celtics, which is cool, but
that would have been Grizzlies Warriors.
Nah, after what LeBron said about them boys after he kicked them out of the playoffs last year, we would have got Lakers Grizzlies.
But Dylan Brooks isn't on the team, so
doesn't matter. They were all talking. Other than that, nothing really stood out. The Christmas games are good, but again, the NFL's going to rule Christmas Day. Like this is going to be the last.
Was it Dallas at Denver or Dallas at Phoenix?
Dallas is at Phoenix. Denver is playing. I know it's Bucks, Knicks, Lakers, Celtics. The Mavericks and Suns ended, and then I believe Golden State plays
at Denver.
Is it Golden? I think it might be Golden State, Denver.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not
Shout
bad.
out to Denver. Denver got a lot more televised games this year.
So yeah, we can finally, we can finally stop hearing it.
Yeah, got a lot more. Congrats to a lot of the USA athletes at the World Championships. Still going on, but a lot of great performances over the past week. Want to shout out Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles, who doubled, not doubled. They both won gold in the 100-meter dash in their respective 100-meter dashes. So shout out to them, and shout out to the number of really great performances that have been going on over over at the World Championships. And also congrats Sean O'Malley on the UFC championship win this past weekend. Really, really good fight and good win. Danny, why you looked that up? One more congratulations in order. Congratulations to the Spain's women's national team on winning the Women's World Cup. So
Kyle right on schedule.
Yeah, Kyle right there. Congratulations to Spain, and shout out to that one soccer player who redid Messi's picture after Argentina won the Men's World Cup last year. That was really cool. Danny, want to talk a little WNBA real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Rough week for the Aces. They lost the Commissioner's Cup to the Liberty. For those who don't know, the Commissioner's Cup is the WNBA's version of the tournament that the NBA is trying to install this year. It's an in-season tournament. The Commissioner's Cup. Luckily for the Aces, that game does not count in the standings. So they turned around and beat New York 2 nights later. And then 2 days later, they lost to the Sparks. I think Asia Wilson's MVP campaign has taken a hit against the Sparks. There was an opportunity for her to, I believe, tie the game, and she blew 2 layups. Can't do that if you're the MVP. Then they kind of just opens the door for Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas to gain some ground. I will say for Vegas, they've been playing a game every other day for the past week and a half, maybe, which is a lot compared to I believe the Sparks had an entire week off before playing the Aces. Again, not making excuses. The Aces are the best team in women in WNBA. They need to play like it. They miss Candace Parker. It's definitive now how much she means to that team. Um, like I said, I think Asia's MVP campaign has taken a pretty big hit. Um, New York can gain some ground. There are about 8 to 10 games left. The biggest one for me, Vegas, New York, and Connecticut all have clinched playoff berths. Everyone else is kind of mulling around. We should start getting clinches as we get closer to the season. For me, the last thing I'm looking for is Seattle. The Storm right now are fighting top 8 teams. Yeah, they're 6-4 in their last games. They started off horribly. They've turned things around. I'd love to see them in the playoffs. Granted, they would have to play the Aces round one. They play the Sky tonight. I think they're playing right now. That is a big game because the Sky, they're 2 games ahead of them in the standings. So they play the Sky tonight, and then they play the Sky next week. If they can win both of those games, I think the Storm have a good chance of making the playoffs. They're losing right now by 10 at half. Other than that, there really aren't any. The Aces are beating the hell out of Atlanta right now.
Why you don't want to talk about the longest winning streak in the WNBA right now?
The Liberty? Let's talk about it. Yo, Liberty, they're vibing. Like
No,
who?
it would be the Los Angeles Sparks.
The Sparks, man. Jordan Canada is in the conversation for, I believe, Defensive Player of the Year and potentially Most Improved. Nneka Ogwumike, dog. She the franchise. She always will be.
Bucket getter.
Listen, here's the thing about the Sparks. They have dealt with so many injuries this year. It's amazing that they're still hanging around. I want to see this team healthy next year. I think they can make some noise. The coach, what's that guy's name? He came from Connecticut. Pardon me for forgetting his name. He can coach. He was just coaching in the WNBA finals last year. So they just been hurt. They've had so many hardship contracts this year. I'd love to see that team what looks like healthy. But Jordan Canada, Nneka.
Keeping them afloat. Lovely. We're getting close to the end, getting close to the WNBA postseason where it will get litty real quick.
I think we're 2 weeks out. 2.5 weeks out.
I'm ready for
maybe it. 3.
This is the perfect time for sports. A lot of good sports are about to come back. We're about 2 months away from the NBA. We're about 2 weeks away from the NFL.
Yeah.
Great time. My brother, anything else? This was a great show.
No, that is it for me.
Let the people know where to find you then, my man.
Find me on the X app, not that X app, but the X app, formerly known as the Bird app, at Danny Ocean 41. Yeah. Hey, man. Nope, we're not going to talk about it. Danny Ocean 41. Follow the pod. Speak on the _pod on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. And also send us your questions, speakonapod14@gmail.com. Again, that's speakonapod14@gmail.com. Shoot us a note.
Listen, make sure you follow the kid, the boy, the bro with the fro that's got to grow. Los D Mix on Instagram, Twitter, or /X, Threads, YouTube at Los D Mix. That's LOSDEEMIX. Listen, this was a great show. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us. So all we can do is thank you. Next week, we'll have a great friend, part of the show, really. The third co-host, Kyle, is going to join us as we wrap up our divisional chat with the NFC North. So I know Kyle and I will have some great discourse in regards to our Packers. Listen, Danny, listen, let me play some more of this little mix. All right. Let me find another part where I thought I was cooking. Well, hold on. You ever heard? Hold on. Let me show you what I did though.
Okay.
All right. So you heard this song though.
Yep.
I got it.
Okay. You got it.
I was cooking a little bit.
You was cooking. You was cooking.
Hold on. I did something. I gotta remember. There's no timestamps when you do these. That's like the hardest part. So I got to remember. Hey,
Hey man, tears, legit tears, legit tears.
hey.
That's it for us.
Now, when
We'll
Beyonce
check
came
out
out, this was a heater though.
everything Beyonce make is a heater. See y'all next week.